What's going on, everybody? Brett here, and I'm back today playing some more Age of Wonders Planetfall. This is going to be the second episode. Guys, thank you so much for the good feedback on the first episode. A lot of you seem to enjoy the series. I appreciate that. I'm having a lot of fun with the game as well, and let's keep it going. We're going to pick up where we left off last time. I know it was a bit awkward at the end of the last episode because the game kind of there was no option for me to leave, so it just kind of kept going with the different cutscenes and stuff. But this time we're actually going to watch them, we're going to read it together, and we're going to progress the story. So we're done with the tutorial, I believe, and now the game is going to branch off in a way that allows us to pick our next race, or to continue with the story of Jack Gelder and the lieutenant. So yeah, let's go. Continue campaign.
We barely escaped the surface of the planet before the void anomaly consumed it. We're lucky to have gotten the colonists out alive. These last few days have left me filled with more questions than answers. What happened on the surface here? What was that gravitronic wave that ripped through this star cluster?
I'm just going to consider this the warp. Every time they say void anomaly, I'm just like, oh man, the warp is overtaking me.
Well, it looks like we'll have plenty of time to sleep on this. The gravitronic force destabilized the void rift in this system, making faster than light travel impossible. We have to get home the old-fashioned way. It'll take us close to 200 years to reach the nearest Star Union hub. I've ordered everyone to prepare for cryosleep. We will see what kind of world we wake up to.
Jesus. Can you even imagine sleeping for 200 years? Like, these guys are supposed to be kind of like the badass outcasts, but like, some of them have to have families, right? I mean, you sleep for 200 years and just everyone you know is dead when you wake up. Like, that's got to be crazy. I can't even imagine living in a universe where that's just a thing that happens. Nuts.
The currents of the void shift around me. Follow my voice, my last possession. My name was Empress Carmenia, and I was the last regent of the Star Union. We built a paradise on 1,000 planets, a glistening web strung between the stars. But the cataclysm shattered all, leaving our people stranded and alien to one another. Whoever you are, whatever you have become, it is time to leave this dark age behind and return to the worlds of your ancestors. Uncover our secrets, but heed our mistakes. Forge a new empire, a new age of wonders.
Alright, so cool little cutscene. We get a little bit of a backstory, I guess, on what the Union was. So apparently, like, all the races lived in this enlightened paradise society together, and then after some cataclysmic event, we were all separated and we kind of forgot who we were and how we used to all work together. So now we're kind of at war with each other, unfortunately. But it looks like, yeah, just like I thought, we can go through these other campaigns. It's kind of wild. So I was thinking here, I'll check on all this in a second. I was thinking that we would continue the Vanguard story at first. I'm really eager, especially to get into the Dvar, the kind of like Russian space dwarves. I really want to get into their campaign. Man, it's hard for me not to. But see, it shows the difficulty. We can set it to beginner. And in my free time, I started playing as these guys. They're Kirko. And just trying to learn about them and any other, different parts of the game that maybe the tutorial hadn't covered yet, so that I'd be a little bit smoother in playing the game when you guys got to watch me. And they're fun. They're super fun. Trying out different techs and stuff too, learning a little bit about that. But I think for now, I don't know how this is going to shake out. I don't know if once we choose this, we get locked into playing as the Vanguard campaign, or if after every single mission, we get to come back and perhaps start, you know, like mission 1. Because these look like we do this, then this unlocks, right? And then we could probably do this, and then maybe unlock, I don't know, something else. Maybe something else unlocks after we do this. So I feel like we're going to have to do everything. So we're going to get like different perspectives on like perhaps every single brace, which is cool. Or maybe doing this locks these two and unlocks some others. I have no idea. But it's letting us customize our commander. That's kind of cool. I don't know how much I want to mess with them. We've got Vanguard, Void Tech, no background whatsoever. I think we can change that. I've messed with this a bit in the custom maps that you can make, and I've read over a lot of this. I don't like the no background. We actually need to change some stuff up. Something we have is very expensive. So military detachment. We start the game with a larger starting army. I mean, that's pretty good. What do we get for this? Range specialists. This is cool and everything. But so what I ended up doing on my like custom game, I gave myself veteran. So I started at level 3 and I had some extra skills to put in. I also gave myself data repository, so I started with 2 random techs. And then I gave myself, you know, one of these types of combat packs that's only costs 1 in terms of points. And then no vices. And I thought that was a pretty good setup. What's messing us up here, though, is that we have this very expensive military detachment, which I don't think we need. Let's take the data repository first. Or even the energy cache kind of lets you get up and running quickly. And then we'll take veteran. And here's kind of where we choose what type of fighter we want our guy to be. Do we want to be a sharpshooter? Do we want to use sniper rifles? Do we want to use kind of these laser rifles, this medium range weaponry? Or we could go into close combat. The Vanguard is kind of funny because it seems like their basic units are all kind of standoffish assault units, and I kind of like that. We don't really have any melee focused guys, so it could be good to make one melee focused commander, but I think we're going to stick with this, and no vices is cool. And the thing about the vices is they're kind of like half good, half bad, so you have to ask yourself whether or not you can live with the negative if you actually want the positive. So that's cool for me, and we can actually customize this guy completely. That's kind of crazy. I don't want to change his name. I actually don't mind the portrait and the way he looks, but this is nuts to me that we can customize the main character for a campaign. That feels very weird to me. Let's do it though. I'm cool with that, and let's change this again. I messed it up, but it's all fine. Okay, next. Yeah, I mean, if you've played as many of these types of games as I have, like, this is very weird. We're going into a campaign, but we can still customize our guy. That's nuts. I don't really hate the way he looks. He's kind of a normal looking dude. We can change the background. Maybe we should, just for fun. Kind of check out what's going on. I did say that I wanted to do this a bit. Basically just like what kind of light do you want to cast him in. These are all kind of cool. Obviously some are themed towards the different races. It's pretty sweet. Posture. I don't know about that one. That looks like a dwarven one. And that's definitely a female posture. Okay. Kind of like this one. He's a military man. This one's kind of just good standard. Guys, if you don't enjoy, you know, customizing your characters, feel free to skip past this part. I don't blame you. Alright, I see very little difference in these. We'll just leave that alone. Skin decoration. Can we zoom in? We can. Okay, cool. So we can basically just give him scars. Huh. That looks like more of an Amazon. I'm not against a little face scarring. It's a little edgy, but I'm cool with that. Change his hair up. Oh no. Some cornrows. Nah, that's not what we need. Flat top. Oh geez. Super bald? I was gonna see if they had something that could make him look a bit like me, but if not, I mean, that's pretty close. We'll just give him the cool gray streak. Jawline. Let's not mess with the guy's jawline. Some black hair, sure. Oh, okay. Here we go. We're gonna get into some real changes now, cosmetically. Very kind of Star Warsy looking to my eyes. I think I'll stick with this. I don't know if that's boring or not. But this kind of looks more 40K. He looks kind of like the commissars from the Imperial Guard, and I like that. Give him a little bit of leg armor. I think that looks sweet. Yeah, way cooler. Way cooler with no helmet. Heroes don't wear helmets. Okay. We can make him an a-hole cop. Got it. An eye patch over his scarred eye. That actually doesn't look terrible. No, we're not gonna go for the earrings, I don't think. Not this military man. So if we come over here and give him like a bigger scar, it kind of makes more sense for him to have an eye patch. That's cool. And then skin color. In life, guys, I'm probably somewhere right here. Except for, you know, where I'm like, the back of my neck is probably somewhere right here. Let's just see how it affects different things. Go kind of in the extremes. And see how well they did. Sometimes I find like the color changing, skin color changing options to be very limited. I can imagine, you know, if I'm trying to roleplay this game and I'm either very, very dark-skinned or very, very light-skinned, or anywhere in between, like I want to have a decent representation of myself, so I would want to have a more accurate coloration. This is probably pretty close to me. And that's cool. And we can change up our symbol, we can change up our tech. Or maybe we can't for this, but this is our void tech. And I've discovered that these really do matter in your campaigns. I wasn't sure how much this particular secret technology mattered, but it completely alters different mods and things in the game, and will change the way you fight. So I'm not a huge fan of the orange. I do like green-white. We could change the symbol. Nah, skull is pretty boring. This whole thing might be pretty boring, guys. If, like I said, if this is boring to you, I kind of don't blame you. Change the green. The green's what I'm not loving right now. That looks pretty sweet. Does that change the color on this? Hold on. It does. Oh, that's pretty cool. It changes like the color of the star and everything. Uh-huh. I did not realize that. Does the red change anything? I don't think so. Okay. I like that. Okay, I didn't realize that when I was making my insect guy.
Commander's personal record. Vanguard Expeditionary Forces. Cryosleep cycle completed. No casualties. Time since launch, 197 years.
Jesus.
We're finally back. After a storm destroyed our hyperspace passage, we had to take the long way around. Most of us joined the Vanguard to escape our past. 2 centuries should be enough to give everybody a clean slate.
Damn. I can't even imagine.
Time to contact Vanguard Central Command. We're heading for Leave 6, the military transit hub in this section of the borderlands. The crew is already speculating about visiting the Elysium parks. Gambling, booze, and promiscuous androids. Oh well, after 2 centuries of sleep, it's time for some fun.
Promiscuous androids. I've always thought that was a gross idea. I've seen the movie AI enough times with Jude Law. Nah, that ain't me.
Something is wrong. We have reached the Leave 6 star system, but instead of orbital patrol, there was only scattered wreckage awaiting our arrival. While searching for survivors, we spotted a ship of unknown configuration. Entering the planet's atmosphere, it ignored our hails. Residual void interference prevents us from scanning the surface.
Something bad happened. And I'm guessing
Elysium
we're gonna
Parks
fix it.
must wait. We have a new mission. We need to assess the strategic situation on Leave 6. Contact Vanguard Central Command and help them clean up this mess. Prepare for Planetfall, for the Vanguard, and for the Union.
He only sounds moderately excited to be doing any of that. I'm happy that we changed up our perks though. We're going to be able to make ourselves a bit more custom whenever we join the fight. And I like having the extra text at the beginning of the game too. So our objectives now, we're on a tiny world size, okay. So it's a pretty enclosed mission, I'm assuming. All land, no water. Find the alien ship, find out what happened on the planet, start the game. I have to say the load times have been great for this game. I haven't gotten into like a super late game scenario yet where, you know, sometimes the later you get in a campaign, the slower the turn times get. But so far, everything has been really fast. With base camp set, we're ready to march out. Down here, it's the same desolate image as in orbit. It's all desert and charred ruins. The tropical paradise Vanguard Central created for their soldiers gone to hell. Someone has been fighting a war here. The question is who and when. So far, none of our standard frequency calls have been answered. If there are any survivors, they are either cut off from communications or unwilling to talk. Time to search the old-fashioned way, with our laser rifles ready. You are a tough badass, Jack Gelder. Beep, beep, beep. The robot ambles playfully. Tapples. That's a good name for a little robot friend. Would you look at that, Lieutenant Zhang? Your little friend is making himself comfortable in this rotten place. Yes, sir, but it's no surprise. My brother used to be stationed at one of the Leave 6 repair stations. This is where we assembled Tapples. He must be feeling he's close to his... Hey, Tapples, what do you think you're doing? Beep beep. The robot slips through one of the still unfinished sections of the camp wall. He dashes straight into the desert. Oh no. I have a feeling we're going to have to go looking for Tapples. Send out your owl scouts to look for any Star Union presence in the vicinity. Hint, not all armies on the strategic map are hostile to you. Only when an army banner is showing a skull, you should be careful to interact with it. And that'll give us influence and research points. Find the alien ship is our main mission. Locate the landing spot of the unknown vessel. This is an exploration quest. Use your scout units or other fast-moving units to complete it. So whenever we see this, we should probably just take our fastest-moving single unit and send it out to go and get it. And we're going to get a gunship? Oh, man. That sounds sick. Okay. And locate Tapples. Find out where Lieutenant Zhang's pet pug has run off to. This is an adventure quest. Make sure to bring an army. Got it. And we'll get energy, production, and research for doing that. So we've got a lot of things to do right off the bat. The game is telling us, look man, go over here and knock that out. They've also given us a new... Oh, she has a vehicle. Oh, that's sick. Okay. She has a power level by herself of 185. We're going to need to get other things in her army. Okay. We can send her out here to meet these people. That'll fulfill our first quest. And maybe they'll even give us a quest to do for coming to see them. Let's go introduce ourselves. Stop! Hold it right there, filthy renegades. Return to your hovels immediately and we won't have to put you down like dogs. These are Empire troopers. What is this madness, soldier? Is that how the returning crew of a sleeper mission is welcomed home these days? Step aside. Let me talk to your superiors. A sleeper mission? Impossible. There are no more ships arriving from the void. Don't lie to me. Ruby Squad, Emerald Squad, Sapphire Squad, you're all madmen. You know what? We'll let you speak with the prefect. He'll show you how we deal with traitors. It's hard to believe these wretched creatures were once proud Star Union citizens. I always felt the Paragon were going too far with their cybernetic enhancements. But this? Are they even still human? Probably not. And what about calling us renegades? Have their brains gone rotten as well? Or is there something more to this? Time to talk to their prefect. Vanguard Central Command will know what is going on. In the meantime, we should keep our eyes open for the commanders of the Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire Squad they mentioned. They could be trouble. So this is another exploration mission. Search for the leaders of the Emerald Squad, Ruby Squad, Sapphire Squad, mentioned by the Paragon soldiers. So we need to explore quite a bit. And for that, we're going to get influence and an assault bike. Prove your good intentions to the Paragon and reach a peaceful relation with them. This is diplomacy. Interact with their armies to receive quests or access their dwelling on the strategic map to make purchases within the faction's dwelling shop. So we want to trade with them, and then we'll get a Paragon guard and some other stuff.
Completed.
Okay, so we picked up some research and we grabbed some influence. We have a lot of stuff going on right now, guys, on turn 1. First things first, let's make sure we remember to level up Jack. We can also check to see what kind of, mods we can give him. We don't want to give him anything right now because we don't want to overuse our Cosmite. I think the best opener is to try and quickly get what's it called? It's like it allows you to build a base. I forget what it's called, the colonizer? Perhaps that's what it's called. And you can't rush it out if you use too much of your Cosmite early on upgrades. So let's come into here and see how we would like to upgrade our boy Jack. All attacks gain 5% more accuracy and critical hit chance. That seems pretty good. We can get range specialist 2, give us an extra 10% damage. That sounds pretty good. Also vitality 1 sounds great. Dig in. The hero is an expert in taking cover and gains +2 resilience to all damage while in cover. Expert field medicines heal all friendly units in the army for 6 health each turn out of combat. That's really good. I mean, that would let us like regen out of combat much better, which I discovered in my custom game is pretty important. Okay, infantry commander is pretty good when your entire army is basically infantry. Okay, ignoring morale penalties. I haven't really gotten into that yet. Wow, and void bullets, that seems pretty good as well. So let's get Deadeye. Man, we could get Deadeye too. For a grand total of 10% more accuracy. And a much better critical hit chance. I was thinking of getting Vitality. And that leaves us with 8. And then I was also thinking Void Bullets would be great for picking off people behind cover. But Dig In I think is pretty sweet. But you know what? What I would really like to do, let's get Field Medicine. Deadeye. And Range Specialist. I think those are great. I want at least one of these abilities to benefit my entire army. And having increased regen after combat is going to be crucial if we're going to be able to, take fight after fight after fight. So let's confirm that. And yeah, let's go into our research. We should have... Yes,
Lasers
okay.
are
Let's do this
fast,
first.
accurate, and leave no bloody mess. Just the delicious smell of fried bacon.
Nice.
Mark McNash, CEO, Lays Tech.
So now we have the incinerator modules. Laser weapons can cause burning and just straight up gives you 10% increased damage on all abilities. And we get a tactical laser strike I guess it's tier 2. We already had tier 1, I suppose, so maybe this is just more damage. And then we also get
Though
subjugation
primitive,
ordnance.
blades have always been lethal, especially striking a foe flying at supersonic speed. Orindra Reaver, Syndicate Assassin.
Okay, cool. And that's why we already have access to those 2 mods. And Shredder Bombs. Okay, so we have discovered a Paragon dwelling. We've got our victory condition. We need to find 8 clues. Jesus, okay. And this is where we can kind of come into this menu here under objectives and see what we're trying to do. Alright. Orders required. Before we move at all, let's go into...
All rival commanders and native NPC factions you encounter on the planet are listed in the diplomacy interface, along with faction information and their relation towards you.
Okay. So this is useful because it's showing us the Paragon, who we're trying to get to like us. So that's good to
Operations form
know.
a flexible toolkit that allows commanders to support military actions and steer government policies. Ops of increasing strength are unlocked through research and are listed on the left side of the operations interface.
They're subdivided into 3 categories: tactical operations, strategic, and doctrines. So they're kind of like up here: doctrine slots, strategic operation points, and tactical operation points. And we'll get into that, I'm sure,
Strategic
soon.
and doctrine operations need to be primed before use. The priming process takes a number of turns pending the ops cost and your available strategic operation points.
They're automatically activated when they finish priming. Strategic operations such as airstrikes can be launched on your orders. Note you can keep multiple ops primed at once. Very cool part of the game. We haven't really gotten into that yet. Objectives we've gone over. It's colony overview. It's another panel for us to look at.
The military overview interface shows important information about your armies, heroes, and items.
All military assets you control are listed here, and selecting an army or hero will take you to their position on the world map. The Items tab lists all items currently in the shared inventory, which all heroes have access to. So these are our 2 heroes. These are our items. We haven't bought any yet, I don't believe. Ooh, can we put someone in an assault bike? I'm guessing if we had given him the skill to sit inside of a vehicle, we could then turn around and purchase an assault bike. Perhaps? Alright. So the name of our city is Danilun, and we need to start producing something. So we're going to go with, if you zoom out here, we can see what each place is good at producing. Man, we want to own this ASAP. Look at the energy they're producing and the production. Plus, they look like they have a special building in their location. But this place is going to be good for food, and that's great because that's going to allow us to level up faster. The city, that is going to give us more workers. So let's go ahead and make this the central biofarm. We can only have one of these central buildings, and they each play into a certain type of production. So this provides a boost to newly settled colonist growth, provides plus 15 food. Double tap that and get that going. And once again, we're going to spend just a little bit of time going over mechanics and stuff like that for those of you who, haven't seen this stuff before, or, this game is new to you and you're not going to buy it yourself, you're just kind of playing it through me. I want you guys to have the exact same amount of information that I have, so we're all on the same page. So here, our objectives, can we see any of them? Not through this map, but we definitely want to come here. Is there anything just free for us to pick up? I don't see anything. We could go in this direction, that's a quest. But I want to have this place cleared out, that way when we have the available growth to annex this, we'll be able to do that really easily. And there's some free stuff here for us to pick up. She's still able to move, that's cool. Are there any issues you require our assistance with? And talking to their prefect is basically our way of going into trade. So we're not going to do that yet. You need to have a lot of influence to do that. But let's see if they have a quest for us. The Imperial Guard is crumbling. The plebeians have given in to their savage nature. Help us maintain order within our last bulwark of civilization. So we'll accept this. They essentially just want us to go over here and destroy 4 automaton units, which are probably pretty tough. And she doesn't really even have an army yet, so we need to get her an army. That's Tapples. This is an adventure mission, so we know we need to bring an army to that. It might take quite some time to get ourselves an army built, but that's it. That's turn 1. And I know that was a little bit of a lot. But look how fast the turn times went. You gotta love that. Okay, so we need to pick our next research. And we're gonna go with nanite injectors. This is gonna give us the ability to heal. We can drop healing onto the battlefield like a support station. And we can also drop like a guard drone. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, let's just go ahead and research that. That's fine. And then we'll go into society research as well and get ourselves our frontier facilities, which is what is recommended because we do want to get this colonizer, which was the name of the thing that I couldn't remember. I haven't even really looked at the end of these tech trees. I don't like to spoil myself too much on what the possibilities of the game are. Yeah, we certainly can't afford to fight anyone. There was an exploration quest for us to do. This one. But I don't know. I think what I would rather do with her is just bring her with us for now. And perhaps get her into some fights and see about like leveling her. I'm guessing, yeah, she doesn't come with any skill points. But an Imperial APC, it's a heavy unit. It has a mounted cannon, it has a repair drone, a grenade. Man, I kind of want to get that into combat with me. But anyway, guys, let's go into here and take on our first fight. And we'll do manual combat so we can get used to fighting again. I just want to say, guys, I anticipate these episodes being about an hour long a piece, and sometimes we'll go over or under depending on kind of what the story dictates. Okay, taking a second to, look at my environs. Kind of zoom in a little bit. I kind of love being at ground level like this. There's nothing that's going to explode and destroy us. These guys, they have a leap. But they're mostly melee. So I think setting up Overwatch against them is probably the best strat. Let's just let them come down this tunnel. And what are our abilities on our Vanguard Owl units, who they kind of mentioned to us a little while ago as if we already knew what they were? Okay, they're like a scout unit. They have air-to-air stuff. Targeting field. Targeting enemy unit becomes 35% easier to hit for 2 turns. Okay, I could see that being extremely useful. They don't appear to have an Overwatch. Let's see, let's move over here and see what kind of range we're working with. Yeah, we have no ability to hit them. Okay, let's come over here. We can't quite hit them, so let's Overwatch this area. And we'll move up a little bit. These aren't the type of enemies that are going to have grenades. And honestly, I think we just move up with these things. We probably should have used our targeting field. Still getting used to the controls a little bit. So if this guy runs into our Overwatch, our chances of hitting him are going to be excellent. Let's move here. And Overwatch right there. Okay, not bad. A little bit of misuse there, but that's just because I'm unfamiliar. As we play more and more, we'll get better at using these guys. Alright, a little bit of Overwatch. So they can actually leap attack from that location and then jump back. That's crazy. So we completely killed that unit. And he knocked us backwards, which I didn't know they could do. And we're poisoned available. Here. Okay. And perhaps we were so hyper accurate against that. Or no, maybe we didn't kill them all. This guy right here is still alive. Okay. Alright. Let's use our drones to take these guys out. Let's move up a little. 90%, much better.
Enemy neutralized.
Man, do they explode on death and, like, hurt me? Oh, no. Okay, so I learned this. I learned this, but I guess I kind of forgot. These guys, once they're in melee, they have a melee overwatch. We gotta kill these things. Anyone who does an action... Yeah, we're flanking them. Perfect. If we attack them with either one of these two, they get like a counter attack, basically. So we want to attack them with someone who's not in melee. So spreading out a little bit here would have been better. But we had this narrow corridor I was trying to channel them down. And I honestly didn't care that much if we took a little bit of damage on each person, because we do have that skill that's going to help us regenerate even more after combat. So we should be up to full HP, I think, on every unit next turn. So if we look here, let's see where we can... I'm trying to see where I figured this out last time. So we have the research station. We need to take this place over if we want to get it. But for right now, I think we just come over here and grab this, because I think we need to level in order to expand our domain. Okay. So here, so if you hover over someone's hit points in this menu, it'll show you how much they're regenerating. So your base regeneration is 6 per turn. And if you're in friendly territory, you get an additional 6. So, 12 per turn. But because we have field medicine on him, all of our units should be getting 12 per turn right now, which is huge. And I'm assuming that applies to non-organic units. It does. Okay, cool. And we didn't get any levels from that. Let's come over here and get these free supplies. Energy convoy. The remains of the transport contains a salvageable energy pod worth 18 energy. Unfortunately, its destroyed systems reveal no data on the convoy's origin, destination, or what led to its destruction. But we'll certainly take that reward. And then next turn, I think we'll bring her here. Maybe we'll have leveled by then. But we do need to set our research now. I think this gives us mods. Okay. Mods, perhaps not what we need. This gives us a new unit. The engineer. Who was pretty cool last time because he gave us... He gave us a turret that we were able to use in battle, which was kind of sweet. I also like these really heavily defensive type strategies. But let's just try and get an engineer. That could be fun. And then let's go over into our society upgrades. And see about perhaps getting the frontier policies. We'll research that. Okay. Nanite support. Finished.
Quantum-powered molecular machines are not magic, they're science.
Oh
The
my god, we gotta
uncertainty
listen to this guy
principle
again.
dictates that if
No,
I
no.
explain...
Okay. And then Frontier.
Our
That is
colonies
finished.
require the means to
So
protect
now we can make
themselves and a reason
colonizers.
to stay. At the very least, it's time to...
Alright, guns and beer. Got it. Got it. So now we want to build this, but we need 30 cosmite. So when this finishes next turn, we should be eligible to start building the colonizer. Which we will place, you know, perhaps here maybe? Or here. We just don't want it to be directly next to Danlian. Or Danilun. Whichever that is. And she's good to go. So we can just put her in like guard. And in turn. Alright, so we now produce more food. And I think we have increased production. And I also think that we can take this place over. I'm still not super clear where it tells me exactly that I'm good to be able to annex places. But we definitely want to annex this sector. They do have a research station. So that'll take one turn to do. And in the meantime, we can come over here perhaps and beat up some bugs and keep trying to level ourselves. But look at the amount of healing we got. I think that was a really good choice, the field medicine. I'm pretty proud of that. So in lieu of any kind of production, you start to generate energy. But we definitely want to build the colonizer, and the game's even telling us that that's a good idea. Let's see if it tells us if anything else is a good idea, and that's a big no. So under this tells us we have growth in 2. So in 2 turns, I guess we'd be able to take another area. And I don't know whether or not we need to annex a place first before we can drop a colonizer on it. So these are the things we're going to learn together, I suppose. So let's start producing our colonizer. I'm sure the help tab will come up. Maybe we want to start moving this way to make sure that we can finish our quest for our friends. Or our future friends. Yeah, let's do that. Let's move more of a viscerally direction. There's also a quest here that's going to take some adventuring to do. So it's probably a good idea that we move our actual fighters there. Okay, and now we in-turn. And here we go, we've annexed something. We've
Sector
created a
annexed.
sector base. And we can move out. And we can move pretty far in this friendly territory. These plains, I think, are more conducive to moving. Yeah, they only take 6 to move across, whereas these arid mountains take 12. So they're kind of messing with our movement a little bit. Now, she probably has huge movement, 32 points max. These guys have 32. Are they all at 32? I mean, these should be higher than that, I would think, because they still have 4 left. Because what we could do is just give her a bunch of, like, scouts and stuff, and make her a pretty far-moving, like, full group, and just give him all the heavy stuff. Alright, frontier policies.
We Vanguard are better suited for a more self-reliant life on the frontier. Big city rules and civilian luxuries make a fighter like me soft around the middle. On the frontier, a soft middle makes an easy target. Teddy Slade, Vanguard infantryman.
Okay. Production cost of all units reduced by 10%. In addition, the production cost is further reduced by an extra 5%. Okay. But Frontier Survival just straight up gives us plus 15 food. Let's go into food development. And try and further increase the food production that we have going on in our main city. And then here, now that we're building that... No, I don't want to build that center. probably build standard military infrastructure afterwards. But we do want to build something in this area. And in order to do that, we have to build the industrial exploitation. So we'll set that in the queue. Alright. It's telling us we can end turn. So let's do it. Engineering Core.
Before me were the brightest minds of my generation. They were destined to change the world. All I could think was, finally, kindred souls, nerds. Rachel
Yes.
Mannix, IT Training Corps.
When nerds get together, it's a beautiful thing. So we have access to the engineer now, who can place a gun turret, has repair tools. Could be cool. Let's go for smart defense modules. We might start making some modules now that we have Cosmite that we don't necessarily need, because this will be done next turn. And we might add that to her stack, perhaps. But let's try and get her some experience by bringing her in on these fights. And we might auto-resolve this one. Well, maybe not. I want to see what this tank thing can do. And I didn't realize they had this many units, so we're going to manually do this one as well. Let's jump in. Alright, defenders move first. I think setting up Overwatch is going to be what we do here. They're all in defense mode, so trying to attack them right now wouldn't make sense. So they have ranged attacks. Magma Spit. And these things have a chain discharge. So you kind of really want to spread out against them. That's what that's telling me. Okay, what we can do is kind of like take a position here and then have everyone facing this way. And if we're going to have someone in a forward position, we want it to be our hero because he's super tanky. Do we have a shot? We do. But I think it's better if we go into Overwatch. So my general idea is to move a bit more forward, much more towards the other side. If any of them can come into melee range, these guys do not benefit from any sort of cover. Just put them in guard mode for now. And I also kind of don't want to stack them on top of anyone else in case there's splash damage that hits the air. I don't know if that's a thing yet. So there's no cover to be had in a vehicle, that makes sense. Wow, she has pretty far attack. We could almost hit them. Let's just guard ourselves. Wow, they have super range. Okay. Is there a way maybe to see what their range is before we move? Like, I guess you can just kind of memorize it, but... And if they do a lot of damage to her, we'll just move her and then come in from the flank. We're not going to let her sit there and take a ton of damage. They've also sat themselves next to an explosive.
Operations ready.
Oh no, man, I did that when I was playing by myself as well. I accidentally hit the wrong button. It feels a little, like, unintuitive to me. My bad, guys. I do keep doing that, like, over and over again. If we land these shots, we kill them. Okay. I keep wanting to hit different buttons for different things. So that still gives us an attack, slightly better attack now. This stuff explodes, I guess. Let's see if we can get the kill. Still didn't get the kill. Man. They may be too far away to... Now, let's see. Let's move up here. Can we grenade this? We can. So that did a lot of damage, and it staggered them. So that was a good play. And the more I play this, guys, the more like smooth I'm going to get at using the controls and stuff.
Enemy neutralized.
Even games that I've beaten already, like XCOM and stuff, I've played that game so many times all the way through. Like, if I pick it up and start playing it right now, I'm going to look like I never played the game before, because that's how rusty I'll be on the controls.
Enemy destroyed.
So these things have super long range. I don't think Overwatch is that effective against them. But we'll move in and close the distance this turn. So they definitely can jump the lightning damage off of the drone and hit ground units. Please don't kill my drone. Okay. Thank God that missed. Let's wait on moving the drones. Because we may want to just move them out of the way. So this only takes one action point, so if we move right up close to like guarantee the hit, we should be fine. Only 12 damage, okay. We could use these things as targeting fields to like guarantee that we land the hits. What I'd rather do... Wait, where's Jack? There he is. What I'd rather do is move up to like here, perhaps. Shoot this thing in the face. And then move in with maybe these guys and grenade this area and try and get another huge explosion. And definitely not kill Jack.
Enemy down.
Awesome. So working as intended. All infantry will go first. I doubt we'll get a flanking attack, so let's just get as close as we can. Maybe we can destroy their cover. Yes, that works. So no cover bonuses for this thing. Move up a little further. And let's try and get the kill. I guess we can stand right on top of it and shoot it. That works for me. Alright, so a little bit of close calls there.
They
We
never
almost
stood a
lost one of our
chance.
drones. But those enemies are surprisingly dangerous. Quartzite, liquid crystal. Okay. But we're going to heal up pretty fast. Production resources move to Danlian. So we get a free building, I guess is what this is. Unlocks the ability to build specialist units in the colony. So this gives us pugs and engineers. I like that because we did unlock the engineers. So now we'd actually be able to build them already. And this gives us improved military infrastructure and repeater defense turrets. This has an upkeep cost. Let's just get the training center. So that was pretty cool. I guess I didn't even really see what they were standing on, but I guess it was basically just a straight up free building. So that's super cool. So now you'll see under our ability to build stuff, we can get ourselves an engineer. Man, I like that. I want an engineer pretty bad. I love using mechs and stuff in these types of games. And then a pug, which is a unit we haven't seen yet. I'm pretty sure that's what that taffy thing is. Or tappy. This takes 4 turns to build, though. That's kind of extreme. Yeah, I guess just my inexperience with the game is making it difficult for me to know what to build first. Okay, so we have our first doctrines that we can make use of. We have 4 strategic ones. Or tactical, man, my brain went straight to strategic. We have 4 tactical ones. Those are the ones we use in combat. And then now we can increase our food or production cost of all units is reduced by 10%. Okay. I mean, this could be good in the future whenever we're just pumping out units, but for right now we just want to grow. So let's start priming this. It takes 2 turns to prime. Okay. We'll close this now. And we still have orders that we can have. Are we in a friendly territory in here? Let's check out our HP regeneration. We're not. So this does not count as a friendly territory. I don't know how strong these guys are. Wait, are we even inside of their territory? I think we are. I was wondering if there was a type of mode that we could go into that would allow us to like regen faster, but I guess not, like a resting mode, something like that. Charge station, that's a visit site. Okay, let's go into guard. She can't move at all. You know, that was probably a bad idea. In case we're attacked, I think in future turns when the game gets harder, we definitely want to make sure we leave our units next to each other for defensive purposes over trying to get some sort of incremental movement advantage. I think that's an important thing to understand. Those are the type of like understandings that either make you a good player or a bad player, and I definitely want to be a good player. And I think once we beat this place, we're going to try and colonize it. I think this is where we're going to send our truck. They have a varied amount of things that they produce, and it looks like multiple good buildings. They have a Cosmite spatial rift. Yeah, we want this place. This is a good place, I think, to build. Message from the Paragon faction. A group of pirates are ripping implants out of Paragon bodies. These cowards often target defenseless cryo-sleepers, leaving them to die as plebeians. The implants grant us the abilities we need for the resurrection of the Star Union. Follow these thieves and kill them. Okay, we have several turns to go there and do that. We can basically, it's a short hop, skip, and a jump from there to there. Our colonizer can move forward. Actually, oh, if we double click, we move quickly. What type of combat can this thing do? Wow, it looks like it might be pretty strong, actually. It has big HP and has a focused laser array. I don't think you want to really risk this thing for the most part in combat. But if you had to, it definitely fights back. It has a big laser on it, so okay. So we're getting them close. I think we need to get it here, same as if we're going to try and colonize it. Check out our city. So we're producing industrial exploitation to try and increase the strength of this area. And then after that, I don't really even know. Can we look at our people and see if they're happy? Okay, they're somewhat happy. Maybe we need to build like a recreational dome for them. But I wanted to start making units at some point. Let's set a trooper in there. And then we'll see what's what after that. No reason to make a ton of different unnecessary movements. So here we have the option to wait another turn. We've just hit an hour, guys, and I'm thinking maybe we need to save all this for the next exciting episode. But we have accomplished a lot. We've learned a lot about the lore of the game. We are currently exploring. Oh, this looks like... I was thinking we would capture this place, but it looks like... What do you call those in Civ? The city-states? It has kind of the similar outline as like a city-state. Interesting. Okay. But anyway, guys, I think in the next episode, we'll end up colonizing the Blockside district. We're definitely moving in a kind of a viscerally direction, which actually seems to be a bit away from some of our quests. So maybe once we colonize this and do these 2 quests for these dudes, we'll start moving back towards here and interact with these guys. You know what, and maybe that means we should build an owl scout instead to help us scout out the map so we can kind of see what we're getting into. I think that's a better idea, just have increased mobility on the map and just send someone out maybe to collect some of these free resources that look like they're scattered all over the map. Yep, sounds good to me. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Brett. My channel is Goodtalk Gaming, and if you were waiting for your daily dose of knock knock jokes, you already know it's coming. So knock knock, who's there? Abe. Abe who? Abe CDEFGH. That was terrible. Hold on, I gotta give you guys another one. I don't even like that one, and I'm reading it. Knock knock. Who's there? Cash. Cash who? No thanks, but I'd like some peanuts. There you go. That's a high quality knock knock joke. Oh, all right, y'all. Yeah, hope you stick around and watch the next episode. This game is fun. Just a quick aside. I mentioned in the last episode that I would kind of give this game a bit of a review. I still don't think I've played it enough yet going into the late game to really give a fair review on it, but I will say that so far I'm having a lot of fun, and I think that's priority number 1 when it comes to playing a game. I'm still learning things, I'm still reading things. As far as I can tell, the interface is pretty fine. There's some things that I'm still having to guess at. Perhaps that's just my inexperience with the game, and in time everything will become second nature and more fluid. The combat seems fun. There's so many units I haven't even seen yet and experienced, so I'm looking forward to that. And you know what, before we do all this, I don't think I need any more Cosmite for a moment. Let's give ourselves an incinerator module. We could also give ourselves the ability to heal. That might be cool. Do we not have enough? What are we lacking? Can we give these guys anything? We could. So we could make it so that all of our units kind of come standard with nanite injectors. Hardy. Confirm. And they even have a cool template name. So that's going to take all the rest of our Cosmite, but we're going to start generating more once we own this place. And now we have healing on all of our guys. And we might as well do that because it's going to take a turn for it to happen. And I kind of want to chill here for a second and you know, heal up our guys completely before we engage. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, y'all.